From beautiful Tobago. This is Tobago. This is the IPO, does Tobago. Conversations in IP, Tobago style. Just look at that beautiful boat over there and look at these. You think cool runnings. You think that's a brand?
Yes.
And we can leverage that. So we are here, it's all about Tobago. We had to leverage the brands, we had to get to the SMEs, we had to unearth intellectual property stories, we had to interview Mrs. Rona Eastman Jack, we had to have a whole strategy for Tobago. So IPO does Tobago, over and out.
This is Rona Eastman Jack. We are so happy to be in your famous sewing room here in beautiful Susuland. You've welcomed us from the Intellectual Property Office into your home. You've made the finest meal. We've prayed together over many years, but today's prayers were very special. Thank you for allowing us into the famous sewing room. You are the seamstress to the stars, but you are also Trinidad and Tobago's most famous and accomplished inventor. Tell us a little bit about your story, Rona.
Alright, 16 years ago I invented the Udaza fashion ruler. I started with total ball with some hinges on it, and eventually we made the prototype, and I entered the Prime Minister's Invention Competition where I won special prizes in 2015. After that, I decided I'm going to file intellectual property rights for my product while going through the process. And I filed the different intellectual property rights, and I've learned so much about intellectual property rights. I am excited that you have come to Tobago to really promote intellectual property rights. I think I've considered it my baby, and to see that you all come here now to really promote this thing, and being one who now reached to the Madrid Protocol, file my trademark in China and got the rights for it, file my trademark in the EU, got the rights for it, and the United Kingdom, and soon will be America after I just fix what I need to fix, and Canada. I am so excited to know that I've reached this far where my product now is being sold from prototype, prototype, two prototypes, and to the final product, which is being sold in Trinidad and Tobago and Europe.
One of the most beautiful brands that Trinidad and Tobago has ever produced. Here it is. Udazzle.
Udazzle. I started sewing from the age of 10 years old, where I won a special prize for needlework. And it's a journey well done. And to reach this stage that I invented the Udazzle fashion roller is amazing.
Yeah.
It's not only amazing for me, but Trinidad and Tobago, but Tobago.
Yeah.
Women. For women, I want to see women shine and reach their full potential, no matter what age you are and what stage in life you are. I'm 57 and I still have ways to go, and I want to see other women move forward with me. I love it.
Rona, your story is amazing, and your accomplishments even more so. Lots of people end up with dreams that never translate into reality, ideas that don't translate onto people, into prototypes and prototypes, products on the shelves, and you've done this. From these beautiful setting here in your room, you can inspire tens of thousands, as you said, of young girls and women. Next year, there's Women on Innovation and Creativity, and I'll ask Gayatri to say a few things about that, and hopefully we have you on board working with us to really make that impact throughout the year, to really inspire a next generation of young girls and women to be entrepreneurs, to be innovators, to be inventors, and that kind of thing. Gayatri?
Hi, Ms. Jack. Thank you for helping us here and thanks for your hospitality. Now, the World Intellectual Property Organization, their theme for 2023 is Women and IP, Inspiring Innovation and Creativity. What advice would you give to young innovators and creators in order for them to maximize the use of the IP system?
I will tell them that if you don't have the intellectual property rights for your product, how can you sell it on the world stage? You cannot enter Kmart and all these places without you have intellectual property rights for your product. They will not take it. So I'm going to say to young girls and to women around the world, we have to get it right. We have to file all the intellectual property rights that is there for your product so that your product can hit the world. So that's my thing to women around the world. It is not far-fetched. And they are the Intellectual Property Rights Office that has the information. Let us seek the information so that we can do what we need to do.
Rona, you saw a need and you decided to fill that need with your innovation and your inventiveness. Can you tell us what challenges you met along the way?
While producing it.
Yes, of course.
Okay, one of the challenges we met was that we didn't have the hinge. The hinge was a problem. It only could afford not 360 degrees, it could afford only 180.
Wow.
But now it can afford 360
Beautiful.
To look at
degrees.
that.
So this was a big problem
Yeah.
when manufacturing it.
Right.
Rona, last question here today. You know, today we go to 2 secondary schools,
Yes.
and you are an amazing educator and inspirator. You know, you bring inspiration to so many persons who look up to you now. And part of the National IP Training Center is to go in the communities to really make a difference, to bring IP education and training to persons, and to really demystify this thing called IP. IP used to be 20 years ago a legal construct that people were scared to even think about in a law firm. You have really brought this to the people. And one of my favorite words is osmosis. So while we have been trying to bring IP to the people, we learn from you by osmosis, and your experiences being the first to use the Chilean MOU for that same hinge to get a petty patent, right, protected worldwide, being the first woman to look and unlock the power of the Madrid Protocol, to make it in China. That was never thought of before 20 years ago. Rona, you've been a pioneer, and you know, the role of the IP Training Center is really to tell these stories. We can only say it so much, but when you have persons who've been there as an inventor on the ground, sharing these stories, you know, I think it's very important. So my question to you really, are you ready to take up a role such as providing education for Tobago and for Trinidad?
I have been ready since 2018 when the World Intellectual Property chose me as one out of 10 women from around the world to speak to women and girls about invention and innovation. And I took up that role since then. I have been to schools in Trinidad, I've been to schools in Tobago on my own, pressing this forward. And I am so elated and happy to be a part of this team to take this thing by storm in Trinidad and Tobago, because
Yes.
you can imagine you have a brand that you create and you didn't file intellectual property for it, and it's such a great product, and when it gets out there you have to change the name. Who knows?
Yes.
So that is what we need to protect the people from making these mistakes, that you create a brand, you did not file it, and eventually you lose it. Who knows?
Well
Let us
said.
do it right.
Well said.
So Rona, Eastman, Jack, we want to say thank you. Thank you not just for your hospitality, but thank you for sharing your experiences with us and with the wider world, because we want you to inspire people. And that's the decision that you have made, as you've said, to inspire women, to inspire girls, and to inspire people generally. So we want to say a heartfelt thank you from the Intellectual Property Office.
Thank you, Rona. These are the conversations in IP. We've started the conversation, but as I always say in this series, there is much more work to be done, many more conversations to be had. We look forward to invite you into the IPO studios to continue your advocacy, because we really believe that you can turn the page in Trinidad and Tobago. Turn around an education system, unearthing new talents, where it's not only about math and English and rote learning, but about new entrepreneurs using innovation and inspiring others for people to not only become employed, but to employ persons. You, as a small and medium enterprise, micro business, is that inspiration that could really have our generation in the right direction. We're going to do this together. Rest assured of our full support from the Intellectual Property Office. God bless you, Rona, and your family.
IPO does Tobago, inspiring innovation, protecting creations.
I am legal counsel in Trinidad and Tobago Intellectual Property Office. We are a department in the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs, and I have with me the man in charge here, Tobago, Mr. Regan Astrali. He's the boss at the Intellectual Property Office. Let's get a round of applause for Mr.
It's going to take you on a journey of intellectual property. It's a rabbit hole. It's about creativity. I'm sure we have a lot of creative students. We have a lot of innovative students. We have a lot of inventors. This is Rona Eastman Jack. Is Trinidad and Tobago's most famous inventor. So you're going to learn about her today and all her accomplishments using our services at the Intellectual Property Office. It's all about entrepreneurship. You know, in this country, sometimes a lot of us think that we go to school to become employed, but we're about showing you a different path. That you can actually be an entrepreneur, you can actually employ persons. It's all about a new way to look at things. You know, I'm happy to have young men here as well. We are kickstarting Women in Innovation and Creativity. It goes to April 26th next year. So it's all about the young girls and about, you know, this theme of Women and Innovation. And also the young men, you know, your talents. So you're looking at a different way, learning about IP and how IP can really influence you in your careers going forward.
Kamish, and we're happy to be here. We're happy to see such a large portion of you come out, and I know you're going to find this interesting. For all the musicians, for all the sports persons, for all the songwriters, the next artists in your room, you're all going to have your eyes open to a lot of things.
Something you can just now use the calculator. This ruler is protected under industrial design. I have different form of intellectual property rights for it. In the United States, also have a design patent, and I have industrial design in Trinidad and Tobago. And the ruler name is Udassel Fashion Ruler. Also see that I have a trademark, and the trademark is Udassel. What can it be achievable? Invention is a solution to a problem, right? Everything that is on this earth, as long as it doesn't have breadth, it was invented. The desk, the table, the board, anything was invented. That is made, was invented. One of the greatest inventions right now is the sticky note. Anybody knows that? Because everybody uses it. The paperclip is a great invention because everybody uses it. What you all don't understand that though, sometimes people believe that a big thing is the greatest invention. No, because a big thing may be used by few people. The thing about it, a patent does not last a lifetime. But you use the window that you have, is 15 or 20 years, and you could license it to a company and receive something that is called royalties. Now, you may think that royalties is a bit small because it's one of a penny. But it comes is because they are multiplicative. The more you sell is the better for you.
My name is Kamish. That's the last name.
So I wanted to find out about this group here. You know, are you all interested in the arts? Like my friend who went out there to play football for the great football teams. And said he wanted to be here, but he couldn't be there because of footballers. But he has
trademarks business. So what do we do? We are a registration department within the legal affairs, those interested in that. So trademarks, which is going to be a brand,